Some of the members at the meeting have called for a new world era, I believe. Let's watch some of that.
That order seems to not be the order anymore. We are on the way to a new order, so we are between orders.
Now, I think of this a little bit more about a transition of eras rather than a transition of orders, but the two are kind of cousins of one another. The reason I draw the distinction is because I don't think the international order built after 1945 is getting replaced wholesale with some new order. It will obviously evolve as it has evolved multiple times over the decades since 1945. But I do think in a more sharp and distinctive way, we are moving into a new era, and that's what I talked about in my remarks, that we are, the post-Cold War era has come to a close. We're at the start of something new. We have the capacity to shape what that looks like, and at the heart of it will be many of the core principles and core institutions of the existing order.
Commentator Luke Rudkowski wrote on X, "Oh, the Davos Bilderberg members want to create a new world order. Where have I heard that before?" Obviously, referring to the what has been labeled the New World Order conspiracy theory, which is a conspiracy theory, but we do year after year see these elites, the people who run governments, getting together to decide on vast foreign policy and economic matters, and the concern being, does this erode our is this actually democratic? And then at the same time saying democracy is the most important thing. But when you have elites getting together to plan society, is that actually democratic? And is it also a threat to free speech? So we're not talking about this specifically today because I am planning to do a radar on it tomorrow, so viewers can hold me accountable since I'm announcing it ahead of time. I try never to do that. But about specifically the speech implications, there are so many. They did this last year. Brian Stelter moderated a panel on the threat of misinformation. This year, the World Economic Forum ranked misinformation as the #1 global threat, above warfare and climate change and pandemics and everything else. Misinformation. And then they were having a panel on it this year. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. But again, just this. Yes, of course, the spread of false information can be a concerning thing, but when they have it in their head that it's misinformation, or so many people do, to just disagree with them or disagree with what their consensus is. And so many times we've seen whether it's Russiagate or whether it's foreign policy or whether it's COVID-related stuff, later the truth is more complicated than what the narrative held to begin with. And a lot of people who are obsessed with the misinformation topic really want, especially in Europe, want to empower new European speech bureaucrats to be able to police that and look to the U.S. as this kind of outlier because of the First Amendment. Say, yeah, you guys have to figure out that First Amendment. It stops you from censoring all this bad speech. That's really a shame.
Yeah, well.